Hello, Jamie from Inky and Scrappy, sharing with you today my Get Creeping on Halloween for January 2024. Condemned. So I started with this tag. It was in some ephemera that I had bought quite a while ago, and I was like, I should really use this. So that was my inspiration for this month's make. And then, of course, I haven't played with my distress spray stains for a while, so I did bring in Villainous Potion in the regular spray stain, as well as Black Soot in the regular spray stain, and then I brought in the Distress Oxides in Hickory Smoke and Villainous Potion to kind of start my background here. I'm doing this in my splat box. I tend to make a mess, and it's a little better contained this way. Plus, I can, pick up and move stuff around in the splat box. I'm not worried about any of it. My splat box might look like I killed the purple people eater. I don't know. It kind of definitely has that purpley effect to it. I did bring in some Gilded Brutus Monroe Aqua pigments here to add some gold speckly flecks onto that background. I'm also using a hairdryer here to dry it. It's a Conair one. Tiffany Sorrento, I'm sure I butchered it. I had linked it in her channel a long time ago, and I picked it up for a steal a video on Amazon, and so that is probably my favorite tool for drawing inks when I'm playing with smooshed backgrounds. I don't do it a lot, but when I do it, I absolutely love that tool for it. And it's way cheaper than the other options that are in the craft industry. I'm always frugal when it comes to those things. More money for stamps and stuff. Anyways, I did bring in some oranges for my actual tag here. So Black Soot on the bottom, and then I think I did carved pumpkin on the top and Crackling Campfire in the middle there to kind of give it a gradient look. I'm also going to bring in some Tim Holtz stencils here and some paste. So those stencils are THMSO 63 and then 64. And then I did Crypt paste and the newer black grit paste. Is it grit paste? Texture paste, I think. I did come in with the microglaze to seal it. I don't know if it worked the greatest. I should have maybe heat set it. I don't know. I think Crayon, like the spray, would have been almost more effective. But that's what I was, I was trying to do it quickly, and yeah, it is what it is. So, of course, once I was done with my background, this is my biggest thing. I have a hard time covering it up, because I think it looks cute or pretty or grungy awesomeness. And so I did bring in an MFT stitched tag stack, and I found the tag that was as big as humanly possible to fit behind that oval. I looked for my ovals, and I have a oval set, but it just didn't have big enough ovals for what I wanted. And so I did cut that tag out. So I'm going to mount it onto my card base right away here. It's what happens when you steal a piece of your background for a second card. There might be a second one up on my Instagram account if you want to see what I did with that cutout piece. It resulted in a whole nother card. I didn't record any of that one, though. That one was me having a good time. I'm not overthinking things. So I'm going to add some double-sided foam tape here, and then I will add that onto my card base. Now, keep in mind I was on Crafty Chat with Kate while I was doing this, and so thought process doesn't always go all the way to the top because, I'm just like, the next step that I need to do, and not really paying attention to what I'm actually doing. I probably should have waited for this one until I was done stamping and figuring out what I was going to actually do once it was on the card front. In for a penny, in for a pound. It is what it is. So if you are here because Get Creeping on Halloween is what you're all about, I started this hashtag Halloween and a half, 2 Halloweens ago. I don't know. This is my second year of doing it. It is just me having fun. I get inspired to create. Halloween is my favorite season, and I just kind of let my, you know, my imagination just go wild, and I just get to do whatever, and it's fun. I don't have to worry about what season I'm in. It's the last day of the month. It will post at midnight. I've so far been on top of it. If at some point I'm not, well, I'm sorry in advance. But please use the hashtag #GetCreeping on Halloween too for your makes the last day of the month. You can be a little bit late or a little bit early, but try to get that in that last week of the month. And I would love to creep on your creep too. So please tag me at Inky and Scrappy on Instagram or over here so I can make sure to see it. As sometimes that hashtag does not always show up in the search results. So I just kind of grabbed a bunch of different Tim Holtz stamp sets. I hoard them. I just have things that I like. This one is probably one of my the eclectic elements. It's just, yeah, all the things. The Tiny Text Halloween is also one of my favorites, as is Unraveled. So I did use all of them, although I did bring out everything that I had that was Halloween Tim Holtz. Those were the ones that I ended up using for this particular card. So once I had those inked and heat set, I didn't want to go too dark with my ink here, and I did re-wet that Purple People Eater Massacre in the bucket, and so when I did that, I was like, well, there's so much purple left in there, I can probably pull another distress print. So I did do that quick before I went and cleaned it. It is now semi-shiny and new. So I will splatter all the things, and then, of course, to buff off that purple over the top of the black. It didn't get totally, I don't know, but I also kind of heated up to kind of help dry it and speed the process. So that might have had something to do there. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. So I also was looking for my distresser. I don't know. It's like an edge distresser thing. I could not find it, but the serrated edge on the Tim Holtz scissors works super good for getting this done super fast. So I did distress all of those little handmade tags with my scissors to kind of give them a little bit more of a grungy and less perfect look to them. I've been cleaning in my create space. I would say that it's going well, except at the end you will see that it has not been going well because I started creating again. So I have yet to record my footage for my new marker storage. It's probably why this one has no markering in it at all. I have definitely been doing a lot with my Ohuhus, just trying to organize and get my other stuff up and running for my conversion charts and all of those things. I just needed a break from markers for this one, and it was definitely a fun make. And so if you remember, I die cut out that tag, and it might have been a little bit bigger than my actual purple or my actual orange piece here, and if I would have thought ahead, I would have moved this up just a teeny tiny little bit to cover that up. After the fact, I did come in after everything was recorded and done and took pictures, and it was actually when I was editing the pictures to add my website and name that I realized, oh, I did not cover up that little spot that's in between the circle and where the tag punch out was. And so I did come in with a marker that matches in the, I think it's P5, in the Uhu line that matches very closely with that Villainous potion, and it hides that very well. So I did bring in my tiny attacher there to just add a little bit of some more metal. I don't know, it's just to attach my little condemned thing. I did definitely distress it, rolled it up into a ball, you know, made it look like it was worn and battered and beaten. I did color the back of the cereal #1 just because I wanted it to be, because it's not, I didn't want it to be that stark ivory color, so I did do some orange on it to kind of mute it, I guess, a little bit, because it kind of hangs in the breeze, and I didn't want it to be a stark ivory color, although it would have gone with the other, but it's, you know, from purple to that ivory is quite a contrast. So I did find some skull and crossbones. I think those are older Tim Holtz. I'm not exactly sure. They were in my Tim Holtz bucket. I might have also misplaced a whole bucket of Halloween stuff. Kate was laughing at me because, yeah, my bonus card, I found said bucket. I was happy that I found said bucket. So I did use my distress crayons here to fill in the little noted tag here. I really did want to put that bigger metal tag on there. It just didn't, I couldn't get it to work. And so it's okay to abandon ship sometimes, even if we don't want to. I tried many, many times to not abandon ship on that one. I did bring in a kind of goldish toned brad to add that one in there to kind of go with the gold flecks in my background and that skull. And then I felt it just needed something in that middle there. It was too clean. And the rest of my card is all grungy and all of the things. And so I did bring in those bats from Unraveled and just kind of hand stamp them on to the center, hoping for the best. And then, of course, I added them in the corner as well. And that will complete my card. Yeah, see? That was clean. Like 3 days ago. Yeah. There's my completed make. I hope to see you in the Get Creeping on Halloween hashtag soon. Keep getting inky. Bye!